How does life insurance gain a cash value that you can use? Hi, I'm Josh. I'm an insurance agent, and I want to help you understand what insurance is and does so we can make informed decisions on what's right for you. So let's take a look at the IUL. One of the greatest features the IUL has and what makes it so powerful is the cash value account that you can access when you want and need. Let's go through how that account builds up so that you can understand what you're doing with your money when you purchase an IUL policy. When you purchase your life insurance policy, we have our premium. And an IUL has three different levels of premiums that we'll go through in another video. But for our purposes, let's say we're paying $500 each month for our policy. Now, the thing to remember is life insurance is different from your standard health insurance policies. Your insurance company does not need the full 500 to maintain the account. Let's say they only need $100 for the various administration fees and costs. So that leaves $400 that we're sending to the insurance company. And what happens with that money is our $400 gets moved over to their indexed account. And we're putting in $400 each month, so January, February, all the way through December. And this indexed account is being indexed to the S&P 500. And by the end of the year, our account has had $4,800 put into it. And we want to know what has happened to that money as it has been indexed against that S&P 500 market. And the thing to remember is our money is not in the market. It is in this indexed account. And the indexed account has three things we want to mention really fast. It's our caps, our floors, and our participation rates. And what these terms mean. Cap is the most that our account can grow at. In our illustration, 18%. The floor is at 0%. This is the least growth we can get. 0% means we can't lose any money, but we're also not going to gain any money. And then the participation rate is how much of the market's growth are we actually going to gain. In this instance, 100% means all that growth up to 18%. So let's take a look at what that actually means over the last 5 years. So starting in 2021, the market grew by 27%. And then in 2022, the market dropped by 20%. And then in 2023, we grew by 24%. 2024, we had another growth of 24%. And then in 2025, we grew by 16%. Now let's take a look at what's going on with our money inside the IUL policy, that indexed account. In 2021, the market grew by 27%, but we have a cap of 18. So our growth was 18%. And then 2022, the market dropped. But because we were guaranteed that floor, we did not lose anything. So we had 0% growth. And then in 2023, we had that 24% increase. Again, we are capped at 18%. And for 2024, we are still capped at 18%. And then in 2025, the market grew by 16%. And that is below our cap. And with 100% participation, we gained that full growth of 16. So as you can see here, our money is safe and it can grow quite nicely when it's protected from those dips. The regular market has to recover and gain back that loss. But in our index account with those floors and caps, we have continuous growth with protection from the market. Now, I want to zoom in a little bit more on this year where we had a dip and our market was protected. Now, if you'll remember from a little bit earlier, we've been putting our money in monthly into the IUL, and our funds have been indexed monthly. So what does this mean? Now, let's take a deeper look at the year 2022. As we can see here, we had 4 months of positive returns, a month of nothing, and 7 months of negative returns. When our money was directly in the stock market, we lost 20% by the end of the year. But when our money was indexed into the IUL on a month-to-month basis, we are able to take advantage of those 4 positive months and still be protected by that floor. So when our money enters the account, we didn't lose anything on any of these months where we had negative returns. And then for the 4 positive months, we got to take advantage of that full growth each month, meaning we got up to 9% in July. So what happens when we average this across the full year? Being able to take advantage of this 4 positive months while not losing anything means by the end of the year, we averaged a 2% growth. While that isn't a lot, it is still 20% better than those who had the money directly in the stock market. We're protected from those losses. When everybody else lost money, we gained a little bit. And this is what makes the IUL's cash value so powerful. We want our money to be available to us in emergency, so we keep it in somewhere safe, like a savings account at the bank. But that is limited to at most 2% interest if we're lucky. Or we can get high growth and put it in the stocks, and we run ourselves the risk of loss. And if we have that risk, we're not safe or protected when we need the money the most. Because when the stock market dips, we often find ourselves in financial struggles. And keeping your money safe from that financial risk is what allows you to use it in emergencies, keeping yourself safe and protected. And that is why I love the IUL so much. If you have any question or wanted to learn more about this, comment below, send me a message. Let's keep having an open and honest conversation.